Al Pacino warned us about the possible invasion of AI in filmmaking in a film that he starred in about 23 years ago. And talking about AI, IMAX has partnered with Runway AI to exhibit films by creators that use the latest platform in making a film in a limited time window. And last but not the least, Nigeria has unveiled possibly a revolutionary free virtual cinema platform for the continent and beyond. We'll be talking about all these and more right here on this episode of the Film Mandate. My name is Papa Utu. Stay tuned. Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Film Mandate, where we are bringing to you movie news, reviews, and reactions, both from the African front and the international scene. Thank you for joining me. And in this very episode, we'll be delving into the very first story. So, in recent times, perhaps post-pandemic era in particular, there's been a lot of talk about how AI has the potential of taking away jobs, and not just that, but whether ethically the use of AI in productions is justified, and a whole lot of conversations, going on. However, this pending um, talk about AI and its realities happening in the film industry was, in a way, predicted years ago in an Andrew Niccol film titled Simone, which stars Al Pacino and the roster of other actors. Now, there's an article that is published in the Slash Film website, and it talks about um, yeah, and it says that yeah. So it published in the Slash Film website, and it says that Al Pacino's only sci-fi movie gave us a startling warning about Hollywood's future. And this is written by Caroline Madden. And there you have Al Pacino. And let's read the article. It says that prior to writing and directing Simone, Andrew Nicole penned 1998's delightfully existential The Truman Show, a dramedy that was eerily clairvoyant about the ways technology would turn ordinary people into celebrities and our everyday routines into a fascinating spectacle, first via reality television and now through social media. Instead of focusing on the average individual, however, Simone tackles similar themes but is centered on Hollywood. It predicts that our obsession with using technology to showcase our humanity will turn into artificial intelligence taking it away. Al Pacino stars in Simone as Victor Taransky, a has-been director whose newest film is thrown off course when his mercurial star, Nicola Anders, Winona Ryder, quits. Casting a new lead would take time and money, so Victor secretly uses a computer program that creates Simone, Rachel Roberts, an entirely digital star whose name is short for Simulation One. Victor allows computer algorithms to modulate every gesture, every vocal inflection, and every emotional nuance so flawlessly that Simone ties with herself for Best Actress at the Academy Awards. Off screen, Simone is also media trained and docile. She will never storm off a set, she never makes any mistakes, and best of all, she will never age. She is coded to be perfect in every way. Of course, the public comes to adore Simone in increasingly absurd ways, forcing Victor to invent more and more outrageous cover stories to explain why Simone keeps to herself. Ironically, this also makes her come off as a cool, mysterious diva. Eventually, when Simone becomes even bigger than he imagined, Victor tries to destroy her career by having her create the zoophilic I Am Pig, but the film is hailed as an auteurist piece of avant-garde cinema. Simone may be from 2002, but there are many parts that foretell how omnipresent AI would become in our lives, even at the movies. Simone foreshadowed Hollywood's affair with AI. Simone teaches us that AI is an extremely powerful tool. Once you've opened that Pandora's box, there's no closing it. The public's revenues a reaction to Simone, where they worship her every move and believe she can do no wrong, foreshadows how normalized and even beloved, if not addictive, AI would become. For many years, it's become difficult to remember a time when using AI wasn't an option. College students can't submit an essay without having ChatGPT write it for them. And distraught individuals are skipping therapy and having ChatGPT validate their feelings instead. The technology in Simone was so advanced that no one could tell Simone wasn't real. With the recent release of Google VEO3, which can create high quality photorealistic videos out of thin air, we're that much closer to being unable to distinguish what's real from what's computer made. Victor's use of Simone to make things easier for him foreshadows how Hollywood would also fall prey to the seductions of AI. Hollywood is a capitalistic machine like any other business, where even creatives are looking to save money or increase efficiency. While there aren't fully fledged AI actors yet, we've already seen AI being used to bring performers back from the dead, like Peter Cushing in Rogue One, or the age of Pacino and Robert De Niro in The Irishman. Even Adrian Brody's Oscar-winning performance in The Brutalist used AI to tweak his Hungarian language and accent. Late Night with the Devil similarly got roasted on Twitter, now X, for using AI-generated intertitle. Simone was a warning that creativity should not be automated. Not to sound like a boomer, but whatever happened to hard work? We admire cinema not only as an art form, but also as a practical craft that requires tenacity and resourcefulness. Making mistakes and needing to figure out how to create a shot is what allows your creativity to blossom, not having a computer do it for you in milliseconds. Would Steven Spielberg's Jaws be half as terrifying if he didn't have to build the shark? If the aging technology existed for The Godfather Part 2, would be subjected to an uncanny valley version of Marlon Brando rather than Robert De Niro's quietly calculating performance as young Don Corleone, who, by the way, needed no enhancements on his Italian language dialogue. Simone warned us that if we weren't careful, everyone would fall under artificial intelligence's spell, even Hollywood. In the 23 years since the film has been released, AI has infiltrated every aspect of our lives. Hopefully, job candidates are being interviewed by AI avatars, fake news information, flat social media pages, entirely AI generated articles are replacing actual journalism, and middle class jobs are being automated. For some reason, the technocrats want AI to replace artists the most. Need to compose an advertising jingle? Use AI. Need a book cover designed? AI can do that in the blink of an eye. It's demoralizing that our society is so intent on destroying artistry and that creative professionals and audiences are just lapping it up. Just as Simone cautioned us those years ago, I'd rather have AI do the boring things like laundry or cleaning so I have time to make art, not the other way around. Instead, I fear that we are getting closer and closer to the nuclear damage of another AI nightmare, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. So that is a wonderful article published on how Al Pacino's films way back sort of hinted us as to this pending, some would say revolution, and some would also say I don't know what to, yeah, the demise of artistry or creativity as the article rightfully captured. I mean, this film, you should watch this film to, get the idea of what I'm talking about. And this film came way back in 2002. I don't remember clearly the year I watched it in. Definitely, I didn't watch it in 2002, but I watched it, I think, a couple of years after. And it was so mesmerizing, and how intoxicating the Simone character was for audiences in the movie. And just as we had it, particularly in the 90s, and even sometimes even now, I mean, I would say even before social media became a thing, and reality shows and social media created celebrities out of that spectacle, movie stars were hailed so much. I mean, some idolized them so much that they worship them at their altar of whatever films they watched them in. And it became, you know, superstars commanded the attention of the day. Now you have influencers commanding the attention of the day. And it looks like at the trajectory we are finding ourselves in, it's very likely that soon enough AI full fledged characters will command the attention of the day. And it's becoming apparent that now, at certain point in time, certain jobs would be lost. I watched, I've forgotten his name, but I watched an interview with on the Diary of a CEO, where Stephen Bartlett interviewed the godfather of AI, and he made a statement that sooner than later, a lot of jobs will be lost because all these jobs would be automated. And it looks like in the film Simone, if you watch it, that became the thing. Because with Winona Ryder's character opting out, quitting the acting for the Al Pacino's character, that is Victor. Victor at the time had no choice, looking at the time span in which to cast a character, and created this AI avatar that starred in all his films and was phenomenal. The public was intoxicated. They wanted more of what's it called, Simone. And in time past, the less public you are as an actor, the more you are revered by the audience who see you in the public domain and want to take a picture of you and all that, and you will maybe sell it for millions. And that was the kind of angle that Simone sort of took at that by Victor. And so Al Pacino's character would always make excuse because there was not a physical embodiment or manifestation in bodily form of the Simone character. So Al Pacino would make all those excuses, even found ways and means of generating public appearances that nobody actually saw with their own eye, and people would guzzle it up. I mean, guzzle it down like like scripture. And so this film, even though 23 years ago, it was made 23 years ago, is quite prophetic as to what is potentially going to happen. Already, we've seen snippets of it in films like The Irishman, where, just as the article explained, even though the actors acted them, they were de-aged so that they would still be the ones to act them out. But beyond that, you also have the isn't it? I've forgotten the title, but the film that won Adrian Brody's second award have his voice. I think The Mentalist also had his voice tweaked a little bit to be able to clearly accentuate the Hungarian accent, so to speak. So you realize that this movie had predicted a lot of things that are happening now. And now, even in my next story that I'll be treating, a lot of filmmakers or creators have gone, I wouldn't say a lot, but a number of creators have gone into the AI space using the AI technologies that exist today to create short films. Soon enough, there will be other films dropping. I remember doing an episode where I spoke of the first fully Chinese AI feature length film. So these things are inevitable, looking at the fact that it's already been opened like the Pandora's box, and there's no closing of it, because governments of nations, whether they can even come to an agreement where they would ensure that AI moves at a pace that is reasonable for all that is left to be answered. So, the film Simone is a wonderful film that you need to watch. And even, I wouldn't say AI has its benefits. I'm not disputing that, particularly for the young entrepreneur who cannot afford the big, the millions of dollars to do a film, and all he has is himself and a small PC somewhere. He or she can create, bring his stories to life the way he wanted to, without the all the blockade and the gatekeepers preventing him for or her from achieving that. So it has its benefits to an extent, but also in the long term, a lot of people are likely to lose their job, especially those whose life and bread and butter is their craft. So it has its benefits, but it also has its downside. Um, just the couple of just after the pandemic, you had a lot of strike happening against big studios using AI to cut down costs and affecting the lives of those who have supported the industry for a long time. And Google VEO3 has changed the game so much so that it is almost we are almost at the precipice of not being able to distinguish humans from AI. And that is the level we got into. And so you need to watch this Simone for yourself too. I mean, Andrew Nicole is a prophet in his own making. He did that of the Truman Show, which starred Jim Carrey. And in the Truman Show, he sort of foretold how reality TV and social media would create celebrities of just ordinary people. And the movie did so well. So if you have the time, watch The Truman Show and Simone about foretelling what the future holds for us. And now Simone has almost perfectly predicted what is happening now. So let me know your thoughts. If you've already watched Simone, let me know what you think about this story published in this article and what is happening currently. Your thoughts on that, whether it was right on point or even may get worse than what the film had predicted. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and it will be very much appreciated. So still on the issue of AI, Runway and a company that had come up with an AI engine to help make creators create films on their own has partnered with IMAX to showcase films of creators who use their platform to make that happen. And I think I thought it wise that since I was already talking about AI, let me follow up with this story in the same vein and let's discuss it. So the Wrap publishes an article that says that IMAX partners with Runway AI for limited engagement short film showcase. Finalists from Runway's 2025 AI Film Festival will screen on IMAX screens in 10 cities. And this is written by Jeremy Fuster. Is it Foster or Fuster? Pardon me. So then your short is the IMAX cinema and what potential um, events may be off the Runway partnership with IMAX. So IMAX is partnering with Runway AI to showcase finalist short films from the 2025 AI Film Festival on the premium format company screens in 10 cities this August. The AI films will be screened in IMAX auditoriums in New York City, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, Seattle, Dallas, Boston, Atlanta, Denver, and Washington, D.C. from August 17th to 20th. With tickets now on sale, a full list of participating cinemas is listed on the IMAX's website. So I think you can click on the link there to know whether a cinema is close to you that you can go and watch this event. So over 6,000 AI short films were submitted to this year's edition of the AI Film Festival, which Runway first established in 2022. Among the 10 films selected are one, a post-apocalyptic sci-fi film about transhumans who travel to a new planet and find lost souls eager to reclaim human bodies, and Distance Between Two Points of Me, a short that explores the sense of loss many Ukrainians have felt after being forced to leave their homes following the Russian invasion. In just 3 years, our AI Film Festival has become the premier showcase of new film and media, said Cristobal Valenzuela. I hope I got the name right, co-founder and CEO of Runway. The quality and variety and storytelling of these films deserves a premium viewing experience. This partnership will bring AIFF to thousands of moviegoers across America at the highest possible quality. The IMAX experience has typically been reserved for the world's most accomplished and visionary filmmakers, and we are excited to open our aperture and use our platform to experiment with a new kind of creator as storytelling and technology converge in an entirely new way. How these tools will shape filmmaking is an area for us to continue to explore while honoring the intent of our creative partners, said Jonathan Fischer, IMAX's chief content officer. So there you have it. AI has already gotten hold of the industry in some regard, and should be told, it has lowered the bar to entry, or the barrier to entry to a very minimal place where if you are an individual with an idea and you want to create um, a film with just a very good PC and a subscription to one of these AI services that are available online. You can create your own film, even be the star of your own film if you want to so use your image in the film as the titular character or hero. So it has lowered the bar to entry to the extent that in this article alone, the event recorded about 6,000 entries, and that is amazing. 6,000. And I don't know whether the 6,000 entries are from just US alone or the world over. So you can imagine that as the barriers to entries are lowered and costs for these services are become very relatively cheaper, or almost free, or next to nothing, you can imagine the number of people who would go into this area of filmmaking so much, because you would want to, I'm sure a lot of them who have made this film would want to do films with their friends and loved ones or people they have admired that they would want to work with and experience, the real life, spectacle unfold, in front of their eyes, particularly if you have some of these stars, you've admired some of these stars for long and you would wish to work with them. But unfortunately, it looks like not all of us will get the opportunity to make films the way we so desire. And these avenues, regardless whether it's the best or not, it provides avenue for some of us to make films on that level that we cannot afford to make on that grand scale that would have so much desire to do in the likes of the Russo brothers doing films like the Avengers, the Van Coogler's doing films like the Black Panthers, the James Gunn doing films like the Superman, and the whole lot. So this has provided an avenue, and I think, I mean, I appreciate what they've done because that will give people opportunity to also have their stories told one way or the other. And it's amazing how IMAX, which is known to be the large premium, perhaps the optimum, the biggest or the topmost premium large format screen, to partner with Runway to get this done. So it is quite interesting the dynamics that is changing. Previously, there was a lot of pushback against the use of AI for film, and now you have IMAX, the largest format, premium format screen, partnering with an AI company to screen the films of creators who perhaps in a couple of years ago, nobody would even give them an ear if they wanted to pitch their ideas to some of these, you know, big studios or even studios of a lesser degree who could afford, who could perhaps help them achieve this goal. So the system is changing. No, no, the hierarchy of power is sort of changing in a whole lot of areas that otherwise wouldn't have existed a couple of years ago. So it has its merits as well. And at least these filmmakers or video creators will also get the opportunity to showcase what they are capable of doing if given the opportunity to shoot them in real life. Some may not even want to at all because the stress of just sitting behind your PC and doing your own thing compared to being on set and the squabbles or fights among departments and even actors and directors not agreeing to. I mean, it's relatively negligent compared to being on set. So I'm sure the only stress would be not having enough data if you live in places where you have to pay a lot of money to use data and perhaps the fees to subscribe to these platforms that if you don't have the deep, I mean, the pockets to make that happen. But regardless, I think what IMAX has done has really, opened the eyes of perhaps people to see that there is a place for filmmakers who also uses AI to make their film. So it is quite an interesting article, and I think it is quite timely looking at what is happening now. And I'm sure IMAX wants the larger share of the cinema going audience, and perhaps this is also one of the initiatives to let people experience IMAX on a scale that has never been experienced before. So yeah, it is quite interesting, especially in the times we find ourselves in. And congratulations to those who had the opportunity for their films to be selected for this showcase. Yeah. So that is my second story. Let me know what you think about this revolution happening with AI films, short films, which perhaps years ago would never have been thought of going to screen on the IMAX films that perhaps even real filmmakers, I mean, I wouldn't say real filmmakers who are shooting I mean, films on locations and sets perhaps may never get this opportunity. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Yeah. So last but not the least, something big is happening on the continent of Africa. So a couple of episodes ago, and I'm sure if you are in tune with a lot of things that is happening on the African continent, you had a lot of streamers sort of, I mean, rightfully so, I mean, it's justified looking at the revenue margins they were making. They couldn't sustain the business of streaming in Africa. So you had Netflix opting out. I'm sure there were other issues attached to the reason, and may not just be revenue share alone, but you also had Amazon pulling out of Africa. And soon enough, in August, Paramount, through their various subsidiaries in Africa, would also be bowing out of Africa. So there's been a lot of um, stakeholders on the continent or of the African continent trying to fill in the gap and find alternatives to make that happen. One of such companies, or yeah, one of such I would say ventures that is trying to make this thing happen is Circuit TV, or Circuit for short. And an article has been published on this site. I think it's called the Nigerian News Agency, and it says that Nigerian firm unveils biggest free virtual cinema, biggest free virtual cinema, and it's written by Joshua Olomu. And it says that the management of Nigeria's biggest virtual cinema platform, Circuits, has unveiled a free-to-view solutions for digital content distribution. The chief operating officer of Circuits, Mrs. Imade Bibowei-Osuobeni, I hope I got the name right, pardon me if I didn't, made this known to the news agency of Nigeria on Tuesday in Abuja. Bibowei-Osuobeni said the move was to increase affordability and access that allows users to rent curated bundles of content for either 7 or 21 days. She said the platform initially focused on showcasing top quality films from leading Nollywood filmmakers and helped establish credibility early on. Since its launch, films in this category have been made free to view. FlexiWatch is our response to how African audiences want to consume content, she said. According to her, the feature is already proven popular among users who want more control over their viewing choices. It gives people flexibility, affordability, and access to some of the best content from across the continent. Beyond its viewing model, Circuit is contributing to the growth of Africa's creative economy. It is creating employment in areas such as content creation, social media management, and marketing, among others. For many creators, Circuit offers a more sustainable and empowering approach to digital distribution. The platform does not seek to replace existing services. Instead, it complements both local and global platforms by offering a solution that is uniquely aligned with African realities. Circuit supports creators with a secure and adaptable system while working collaboratively across the digital content ecosystem. Celebrated for its multi-layered content protection approach, Circuit is available via web, mobile apps, and smart TVs, connecting African stories to a global audience with ease, Bibowei-Osuobeni said. She said the platform was helping to shape a future where African content, whether a film series, live event, or comedy show, thrive and travel beyond borders. With thousands of users across the world and on track to hit its first million, Circuit is more than a platform. It is a growing cultural infrastructure designed to celebrate African creativity, support digital inclusion, and take African stories to the world. More than just a streaming platform, Circuit, fondly called Circuit TV by users, offers a full range of African content, including film series, documentaries, short features, and comedy shows. The event reached thousands of viewers in real time and demonstrated Circuit's capacity to deliver large scale live entertainment globally. Since its launch in late 2024, Circuit has grown steadily, gaining trust and popularity by making premium content accessible, affordable, and secure. Viewers pay only for what they watch with no monthly subscriptions or financial inconveniences and can purchase a movie ticket for as low as 1,000 naira, far cheaper than what they would have paid in a traditional cinema, she added. She said the platform recently moved into francophone regions such as Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire with the premiere of the award winning film Suleiman's Story. And this is edited by Chinyere Joel Inwokioma. I hope I got the name right. Yeah, so this is quite a revolution on the continent, looking at how the mainstreaming services, some of the biggest mainstreaming services, couldn't survive. And it doesn't mean that perhaps the Amazons, the Netflixes, and the Paramounts weren't doing something right. That's the model that they are working with, the traditional model of having subscriptions per month or annually, and they're looking at the operational costs they have to work within. They needed to price these things at the way they are doing it in order to recoup their money to keep on sustaining the business. And the challenge with a lot of these streaming services that they also sort of create content or create films or fund provide funding for films to be made. So their high cost of the cost of operation is really high. And with Circuit coming on board, I don't know how sustainable this is, but at least the good thing is that they've been able to attract the audience of people all over the world to see what they are doing, and the free to air or free to view kind of what's it called model that it began with seems to be paying off, looking at the fact that within a period of over about a year they are almost nearing 1 million view or subscriptions. If I mean 1 million, yeah, viewers or subscriptions. But the challenge also, I mean, it could be better, it could have been more, but I'm sure they are still doing their best to put together some of these things. So what I did was this. I wanted to see exactly what they have to offer. And so I did go on their website to check on what may be available, how their yeah, so I went on their website and to check on how it works. And I realized that they really do have a very dynamic website. I mean, just to clarify, I'm just a no known YouTuber, so nobody has paid me to do any kind of promotion whatsoever. I'm just excited about what is happening in Africa, what the innovations, stakeholders in the industry are trying to bring upon. That's why I'm doing this. I've not been paid for anything of that matter. Neither am I seeking for any payments whatsoever. But I felt like it's quite an innovation that we are looking for so that not just people won't just go on YouTube to watch the YouTube TV, but this also happens to be an African initiative circuit to provide content on a level and scale that perhaps didn't exist before. I know the Mo Abudus are bringing something on, and cover as well is also coming up with something. So I'm happy that there are a lot of players coming into the game from Africans by Africans and for Africans and the global community as well. So it looks really good, I must say. And these are new premium releases. So if you want to watch some of these premium releases, that is when you would be mandated to pay something. And they have this video library kind of approach where if you want to watch, you have the various bundle prices that you can secure your a subscription for and watch it. So these are the varying prices that are available from Ghana. At least it reflects the real amount and not just a forex amount, but the real amount by which you can subscribe and watch it within a period of time, and then it will elapse. And I'm not so sure how it works, whether it's a day and date kind of release where it's in the cinemas right now, and at the same time you can have access to it on whichever platform or whichever device you're using to view it. But at least it offers the opportunity for those who cannot afford to pay a monthly subscription to do so in this vein. So it is quite interesting, I must admit. And then there are so many offers, and there are still I think there are still available ones that you can watch for free. Yeah, you can watch for free, but then if you want to watch for free, you would have to log in to make that possible. And honestly, I'm excited because it then offers those who cannot afford but can only afford internet bundle to be able to watch something that you may not find on other platforms like YouTube. And these all look good. I mean, I must say they all look good. I'll be honest, I've not watched them to tell whether these films have high production value, but at least from the I would say posters that are available now, it looks good. I think I did watch a trailer of I've forgotten which trailer that I watched. Um, I don't know what I yeah, I think I watched this and it looked good. I don't know, but yeah, it looked good. I must say, yeah, I think, and you have the ability, the opportunity to watch the trailer on the site as well.
ó ní ti rí
Yeah,
owó yìí
so
láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi mélòó.
èmi kọ́ ni mo lówó wọlé
and the
lónìí.
production is, the production, I must say, I mean, it looks good. The scope of it, I haven't watched it to tell whether it is really a good movie, but at least it's a good start giving Nigerians and Africans the opportunity to also showcase what they have from the continent. And I was excited about it. So yeah, they are doing something wonderful, and I think they need a support, all the support that they can. Yes, it's a business, but I hope that this business succeeds so that we can also have a bargaining chip the world over from Africa. And I'm happy about it because their point of view or their mission is not to restrict it to Nigeria alone. It's a continental thing. It wants to bring African films from Africans all over the continent. I'm sure possibly also in the diaspora to reach out to the world, to sell it to the world. And I'm happy about that. This would soon be one of the Amazon of the states, or rather, the Amazon becoming the circuits of Africa. But which, regardless, I'm happy that initiatives are being taken to also provide options for the African to put their films on a platform to receive the necessary residuals that I'm sure the other companies like Netflix and others offer. I don't know whether they'll be going into the production business yet, and that is where I do not know. But I'm sure when fortune smile on them in terms of making enough revenue, they may perhaps want to do a circuit original, which seems possible. So yeah, it's I'm excited about all this that is happening on the continent, where African filmmakers would also have their own opportunity to uh, to provide a streaming service of a platform like this where Africans can enjoy and the filmmakers can also benefit from revenues that is much needed in this space to help, with filmmaking on the continent. So let me know what you think about this initiative by Nigeria to bring African content on one platform and sell it to the world. I'm excited about it. I don't know, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. So all too soon, I've come to the end of another exciting episode. I'm so excited about the stories that I got to discuss on the platform. So let me know what you think, and thank you so much for joining me. And I'll be coming your way again with another exciting episode tomorrow. I'm Papa O2, and this has been the Film Mandate. See you soon.